Hello, my name is Brian Hyman. Welcome to the Flightline Fabrications Living History Project. Today from Hillsboro, Oregon, we're very excited to have World War II Holocaust survivor and published author Wiener. Did you ever witness any examples of kindness by the guards when you were in the camps?
Well, at one point, a German guard, while I was working, he threw me a brown bag with a piece of bread. By doing so, he probably maybe even endangered his life, or maybe he would be demoted. But this was a very kind act of a German. But before that, and this is the most interesting episode in my book, it's about a German woman who risked her life to help me. We worked together in the certain factory, and they worked in one part of the factory and I worked at the other part. I was dismantling old machinery and she was operating textile machinery, and there were signs all over telling the German woman or the German employees, mostly females, men were adopted to the army, do not talk to those prisoners, don't give them anything, don't make even eye contact with them, and if you do, you are doomed. But one day, a German woman on the way to the restroom did make eye contact with me, and she hinted to me like that. And I was very curious. I wonder what could it be. I had a feeling it must be something good. Eventually, I did find the right moment, and I found a sandwich of 2 slices of white bread with a slice of cheese. And she repeated it every day for 30 days, as long as I worked in that location. I don't know to what extent it helped me to survive, because this was only 30 days out of 1,050 days that I was incarcerated. But the question here is, why was a German woman willing to risk her life for a young Jewish boy? How often do you hear that somebody is willing to risk his life for another human being? And she was German, and she was told every day on the radio that I'm no good, I'm inferior, I'm an Untermensch, subhuman, and still she risked her life. So the question is, and I always ask the students or the prisoners, what motivated her? My own opinion, my thinking is maybe she had a son at my age, felt sorry for me, maybe she was a religious person and she tried to abide by the tenets of her faith, maybe she wanted to make a point that not all the Germans are so cruel. I don't know, I never will. But what I did learn from this, that there are good people and bad people in every group. You can never make a generalization about any ethnic group. I have German students coming to visit me or to interview me, and they expect me to hate them.
Because they're German?
Because they're Germans, because their grandparents were involved. So I thought, why should I hate you? Are you responsible for your grandparent? And you'll see over there in my book, on page 159, a German student, exchange student here in Newburgh, she came to visit me, and she expected me to hate her, and we became friends. We are still in contact. And that's the way I feel. And I'm very grateful to that woman. She is my heroine till my last day of my life. I will never hate the German people as a people, even though they killed 122 of my extended family and they incarcerated me for no good reason. I still feel, especially today, the new generations, I have no right to hate them for the deeds of their grandparents.
Well, and I personally look up to you for that, because I don't know that I'd be able to say the same thing, and I think that's very admirable and very strong of you to.
Thank you very much. But if you saw those comments on Amazon.com, there are many people who say the same thing what you just said. But I was brought up in a home which, as I said, the older I get, the more appreciative I am. My father had a slogan. He said, "Hate hatred and shun violence." So I try to train myself not to hate. If you hate anybody, it doesn't help you, it doesn't help the person that you hate.
Sure.
What would it help me if I'm going to hate the Germans or anybody else? That is so ingrained in me, and I think it's helped me. It helped me. My upbringing helped me a lot to survive.
Why do you think that more prisoners in the camps didn't try to revolt?
But that's a very good question. And I understand why because you are not aware of the conditions in those camps. You see, we had nothing to fight with. People resisted, the Jewish people resisted in the Warsaw Ghetto uprising. But once you were in a camp behind barbed wire and those towers, watchtowers, There was nothing you could do. And you know something? If you read my book, in the Camp Walden book, our uniforms didn't have pockets. We owned nothing. Not even a comb or a toothbrush or something of that nature. Nothing. How can you fight with? It would be suicide. And not only this, if you did manage to, not to fight back, but to escape, all the others would be punished. This was the German collective system. If in a village one German soldier was killed, the entire village was annihilated. This was their approach. So if you have any conscience and you say to yourself, oh, if I'm running away and I'm going to save my life, all those people here behind me are going to suffer. So you don't do it. And where are you going to run to? To a hostile environment? Sure. In all the 5 camps that I was incarcerated, I do not recall one instance that somebody managed to escape or somebody resisted. It was just helpless.
What motivated you to keep going during the Holocaust, and did you ever feel like you were giving up hope?
I was brought up in a very religious home. I used to pray, even though they took away my prayer book, I used to pray those prayers that I knew by heart. I had the hope and belief that at some point God is going to come to my rescue. This is one. It's a combination, maybe just luck that I survived. But what I do know for sure, that I wanted to survive. I was striving to survive, hoping that I'll be reunited with my family. Because the life at home was so beautiful. Even though I didn't have a mother, my mother died when I was 4 years old, but I had a stepmother, that she was such a noble person, and I do devote an entire chapter to her. She's a model in my life. So these are beautiful things. I have a teacher in Camas, Washington. She writes on the Amazon that she's going to teach her students those beautiful values, because today very rarely you see them.
I would agree with that.